Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Actuary. So today, pardon my voice, I'm not that well today, but today is the day to release the video. So yeah, as a commitment, I have to do that. That's the challenge of being a content creator. Anyways, so today's video, as you can see in the thumbnail, it is called Understanding the Unwind. Right? So unwind is a concept that is used very often, and that is something that once again that is not available in the books. Right? In the if you I have in the entire actual all the actual subject combined, there is not like maybe there will be one or two mentions of the unwind word, but it is not properly explained. So, and my first interaction or my first uh, so-called the first time I heard of this word unwind was in a seminar when someone was telling unwind and he was explaining something as and it was like all of those were going bouncers over my head. I was not able to understand what unwind is and let alone any other further application of unwind, right? So that's why I thought that it's a very good topic to discuss and explain. Now, before I kind of explain unwind, you need to understand the saving component or the saving portion of a life insurance product. Now, I've already made a video on what are the types of insurance product that an actuary should own. Within that, I have mentioned that you should own insurance product for protection, and you should not own insurance product for saving purpose. If you have the capability, if you have the ability, you can earn your own return by investing through the stock market or through other avenues. And yeah, so I think that you should use to get the return, and insurance you should only buy for protection. But there are saving product in the market, right? As for example, an endowment product, right? It's a saving product. It gives you maturity benefit as well. So if you survive the entire term, then also you will get a benefit. If you dies within the end of the term, then also you will get a benefit, or your nominee will get a benefit, right? So these are called saving product. Also the participating product usually would be endowment whole life. This would be the participating product. So for this product you get benefit on maturity, and these are saving product. It's kind of like you have put money in a bank and you are getting some return after some time, right? And only saving product give you surrender value or surrender amount, right? So what is the first of all you have to understand what is the saving component, right? Or in IFRS 17 we call that insurance component. And then we can come to unwind, where I have prepared this Excel example that you can see on your screen. So suppose for a premium, suppose for a product your premium is, and that product is endowment product, right? So for that product your premium that you are paying is 500 rupees, right? Now, because it is classified as a saving product and not only as a uh, insurance product or protection product, right? So it would have two components. One would be the maturity benefit, right? The premium would kind of encapsulate the maturity benefit, and the premium would also encapsulate the death benefit. So you can consider that endowment is a combination of two things. So I'll write it here. Endowment, right? Endowment is a combination of endowment equal to term, right? Term product, because this is the product that is giving you the death benefit. So had you kind of just purchased an endowment, just purchased a term, it will give you equivalent amount of death benefit, right? And then it is also giving you the maturity benefit. So it is kind of equivalent to a saving account, like I mentioned, right? Savings account. So an endowment, you can you can synthetically create an endowment product by uh, purchasing a term product, and by some avenue, or I'm calling that saving account, but you can invest in some some way so that it will give you some return, right? So that return has to be equal to the maturity amount that the endowment is kind of giving after the time period, right? That's how you can create or synthetically create a endowment product, right? Now this portion, so your premium, suppose the premium that is charged by this is 500, right? So this 500 would take care of the death benefit, and this 500 will also take care of the saving portion. So suppose out of this 500, 150, right, 150 is taken for the death benefit, so that you can determine like the term, whatever the premium for the term product for the equivalent amount of sum assured would be the premium that is used to cover for the death benefit. And maybe this, as per this equation, would be this 500, right, minus 150. So that would be 350, right? Although technically you cannot split the premium like this, it's impossible to do that, right? But suppose you can, right? Suppose you can split the premium like this, and then this 350, right? Then this 350 would be kind of growing every year. It's almost like you have put that money, as I mentioned, in a saving account, which probably is giving you maybe 10% return per annum, or usually saving account give 4%. But let's just assume that you are in a that it is giving you 4% or 7%, 10% return, and that return after maybe 15 years should be equal to the maturity amount, right? So this is, and that component like this component, this 350, right, which will be growing if all the premium would be paid, that component would be growing to that maybe 3 lakh rupees, 3 lakh sum assured. So that would be called the saving component, right? And this is covering for the death benefit. So the reserve and everything that will be keeping for this portion would be equivalent to the reserve that you keep for a term product, which is only providing the death benefit, right? Because if you die within the term, then you will get the sum assured, and that is equivalent to this. And the saving portion would be kind of taken care of, or the maturity benefit will be kind of taken care of by investing it through some bonds or somewhere, or some saving account where you are kind of taking that using that money to get the maturity amount. So I think now the difference is clear. So in IFRS 17, what we call this portion is called insurance component, right, which is kind of giving you the protection benefit, and this portion is called the investment component, right? So only those products which has investment component would provide you the uh, we would provide you the maturity benefit of the surrender value, right? Like I've mentioned at the start of the video. Now then, what is unwind, right? So obviously, as time proceeds, this value would keep on increasing. Like that, this 350 would, for the first year, it will get maybe 10%. So it will become 350 plus 35, right? In the next year, it will also again get 10%, maybe. So then 350 will become 350 plus 35 plus 38.5, right? In this way, it will continue to increase, right? The annuity equation will come into picture. So that ultimately at the end of that entire term should give you 3 lakh rupees, right? That's how it should work, right? So that thing, that like the how you are kind of getting the interest, or that compounding effect, right? That thing is called the time value of money, right? So what is the time value of money, or that time value of money, sorry, that time value of money, like how you have put some amount into a bank, and that bank is giving you repeated interest, right? And that you are like your money is growing because of time, right? Because the amount of time you have kept that money with someone or some association, it is giving you interest. And just because you are spending with time, that money is growing, that is called time value of money, which is also the concept of unwind. So unwind means the time value of money when everything else remains constant. So suppose at the start of the year, your mortality, you are assuming say 10% mortality, 10% people will die. Lapse is also 10%, right? And throughout the year, like at the end of the year also, nothing changed. Mortality has remained 10%, the lapse has remained changed 10%, the interest rate has remained every the 10, I mean whatever, 10% constant, right? So from the start to the end, if you just let time give you money, like in the example that I've just mentioned, that is called unwind. Nothing has changed, right? Everything has gone as per expectation. Mortality has remained same as per your expectation. You are expecting 10% mortality, that has happened. Lapse, you are expecting 10%, that has happened. Interest rate, you are expecting 10%, that has happened. So that would give you the time value of money. Is just the money that you are getting just by waiting out, right? And that is also known as unwind, right? Unwind means everything else remaining constant, the time value of money, just like this example, endowment and term, like how you can artificially create an endowment using a term and saving account, or maybe an investment account somewhere, right? And then it is the term is accounting for the protection component, this is accounting for the investment component. Theoretically, though, you can split the premium into two parts, but practically it is impossible to do that. That's otherwise you could have charged this amount of portion of premium is for the insurance component, this amount of premium is for the investment component, but that is not possible, right? You can't mathematically, or you cannot create a premium like that, because you will be investing entire amount in the in bonds or something, right? So that will give you additional benefit. Like it's not it will be very difficult if you kind of split the premium into these two parts, right? So when you gain money just by keeping it just because of time, like as the time runs out, you are getting more and more money, that everything else remaining constant, that is called unwind. It's like a knot is unfolding, right? So you have some money, and then it is that you have some knot, like you have some kind of you have kind of created a knot, right? And when time goes, that knot is unfolding, right? And because that knot is unfolding, you are getting more and more money, right? It's like that. It's like a big bang, right? There is a single point, and then it kept on increasing, and then yes, at some point of time it has become huge, right? So it's just same concept, the big bang concept. That big bang concept is called unwind, right? And that's why my thumbnail today is the big bang concept, right? So here in this example, now that you are clear with the theoretical definition of unwind, right? In this example, I am just going to give you a bit of mathematical kind of picture or mathematical representation how unwind is calculated. So here I have assumed premium is zero. Like I am assuming a time period of 31st December 2021 to 31st December 2022, right? So 1 year time period, and I'm just trying to calculate or show the unwind for that 1 year time period, right? Where premium is zero, expense is zero, but the benefit that you have to pay, right? The benefit that you have to pay is 1,000 rupees. And modality, I've assumed there is no modality, there is no lapse, right? Just for simplification purpose. Obviously, there will be modality and there will be lapse, right? Now, here I'll take a break. So talking about modality lapse and this sort of calculation. So we have organized an webinar on 11th of March 2023, right? That is a Saturday. And we already have got very good amount of registration. If I just show you right now, let me open the page. Yes, so we have got around 117 response till now, and thanks for the this amazing response. First of all, from the bottom of my heart. But if you have not registered yet, you can go to the description section of this video where you can register, and this is free. There is no charge for this webinar. It will be a 1 hour 30 minutes webinar. Along with me, there is also one of my friend who would be speaking or would be kind of helping me with the webinar. And also there will be a Q&A where we'll take each and every question, right? So it will be 90 minutes. It will be fun. I am extremely excited, right? After the Holi, so you would have that gap for Holi and everything. And then on 11th March, you can come back fresh and we can discuss this sort of video. The main crux, although we are going to discuss about the jobs, and we are also going to discuss about the, how to enter into Actuary. So for a fresher, if you have no clue about Actuary, you have just heard about 1 crore package that Actuary gets. So we will start from the basic and we'll come to that. And we'll also, for person who are kind of slightly experienced, or who, even if you are not experienced but you have studied the theoretical concept, we'll show you how to apply this concept in reality, like one we are kind of doing now, like the concept of unwind, to simplify actual concept, because sometimes the books looks like jargon. Back to this example, so we have simplified that there is no modality, no lapse, right? So we are just going to take the interest effect. So considering first scenario in which the interest rate is 5%, right? And it stays 5% for the entire duration, right? So how are you going to calculate reserve? Now, first of all, for calculating reserve, the formula is the present value of benefit plus present value of expense minus present value of premium. Here expense and premium are zero, right? So the only thing that you have is present value of benefit. Now, how we are calculating the reserve? So we are calculating the reserve at each day. Like I have taken the first of each month, first of Jan, first of Feb, first of March, right? And this is the first of December 2022, right? So how you are going to calculate this? This would be only discounted once, right? So if I just show you, so this is that one, right? It is just getting discounted once. and then this 5%, right, it has been converted into monthly rate, right, and that monthly rate to the power 1 plus that monthly rate to the power 1. That's how you are getting the first value. Second value, how we are getting, so it would be discounted twice, right, because 1,000 you are giving at the end, right, 1,000 rupees benefit you have to give at the at 31st December 2022, right. So for first December it will be discounted for 1 month, for 1st of November it will be discounted for 2 months, right. And because that's why you have calculated the monthly rate, so we are taking 1,000 and then, sorry, not 1,000, we are taking 10,000 and then we are kind of discounting that, right. So in this way we have, I think now the process is clear. If you go to here, this is also 10,000 a month, 1 plus monthly rate to the power 3, right. So I think the process is clear. That's how we are arriving at this figure, which is at 1st of Jan 2022. This is the sort of, this is the sort of reserve that you need to keep, right. And so this is your that the point or the knot, right. And then this knot kind of unwinds. 9524 becomes 9563, 9563 became 9602, 9602. So you can see this is increasing, right, that the big bang, it's increasing slowly and steadily it is increasing. And on 31st December 2022, this entire reserve would be released, right. Whatever that entire reserve would be released, and the obviously the benefit has to be paid, right. So that's how we have kind of kept it, right. That's exactly. So if someone has keep 9524, right, at the start as a reserve, then that amount would grow to be 10,000, right, at the end. So that person has just kept the amount there, and because of the time value of money or because of the unwind in this case, the person that thing has increased, right. So what is the unwind or what is the reserve that is released? So this is what is happening. So this 9959, right, minus, so from 9524, the interest that is accumulated is from the 1st of December is 9959 minus 9524, right. So that is represented by this S6 minus S6, and the remaining portion, so because this is on the 1st of December, right, and the benefit has to be paid on 31st of December, so there is still 1 month that is left. For that, the unwind is represented by C4. C4 is this 10,000 minus this figure 9959, right. So that represent the total unwind, which is approximately 476, right, 476. Now I have also put an additional check. What is that check? So I have also put a check here, which is kind of approximate, just an approximate number to see this, how what I have checked. So the number that is at the start, right, 9524, this is the number at the start, right. You are starting with this number. So if you are getting 5% every month, like 0.41% in this case, if you are getting that monthly rate every month, so that into 12, right, that should give you, so from 9524 to 12 months, that would give you a figure that is closer to this, like mathematically this two be similar, like 476, 466, 10 points different. That shows that, yeah, the calculation is correct. Another way you can calculate this is by going through interest rate, right. So this is probably the more intuitive way. So here you are starting with 9524, right. So 9524, the first month, what is the interest rate that you are getting? 0.41%. So 9524 into this, right, 9524. So that's why I've written that 9524 into this in monthly interest rate. That's the interest that you have captured for first month. Now, obviously, the interest that you are capturing for first month, right, that would be at the end of the month, right, because here we are considering everything at the end of the month, right. That's the concept of the reserve. So if you are considering everything at the end of the month, you can also write it at the starting of the next month, right. That's the assumption. The closing of the end of the month would be the opening of the next month, right. That's the assumption that I've used. That's why here I put a 0, right. So on 1st of there is no interest that is accumulated on 1st of Jan 2022, but on 1st of Feb, right, 38.80. Now this is getting compounded. So this figure, this is getting added to this figure 9524 into the monthly rate, right. That is the effect of compounding that is kind of inserted here. So that it would give you 98959, and in this way, right, then this figure is getting compounded like this. This is the total interest accumulated, and that is getting added to this figure, which is 9524, right. So that figure is getting increased. And if you go by this logic, the interest rate monthly, how the monthly interest rate accumulates, right. So then also you will come at this figure, which is 467. which is once again closer to this figure 466, right? Which once again is kind of closer to this. So the reserve release or reserve unwind by our purpose, right, is this figure, which is 476, right? That's the definition of unwind. That is the time value of money. It's like the big bang. You are kind of holding some money somewhere, and because of that time value, like because time passes and with time you get interest, the amount increases to 476, right? Now suppose there is a change in scenario. What is that change? That is on 30th June, right? On after June month has passed, the interest rate has become 7%, maybe because of inflation or some other factor, right? The inflation has become 7%. So earlier your assumption was for the entire month, for the entire year, the interest would be 5%, right? Now your assumption has changed. So from 5%, your interest rate has become 7%, right? So what would happen in that situation, right? So in that situation, going by the previous logic, 9959, right? 9959. So what in this case, what is the interest rate that is applicable on first of for like what how you have to kind of discount, because the interest that is applicable is 7th, right? So you have to discount it by using 7 the monthly rate of the 7th, right? And that will be discounted once. So this 0.57%. So what we are seeing here is, once again, just to refresh your memory, so discounting number of times is 1, and 1 plus this rate and 10,000, right? That is the benefit. So that give you 9944, and then you take 10,000 once again, that will be discounted twice, right? So that gives you this figure 980. Where there would be the change would be here, right? The change would be here on this month. The interest rate that would be applicable on first of May, right? First of May, the interest rate that would be applicable would be, because on 1st or 30th June the interest rate has changed. So because you are kind of moving from backward direction, right? That's discounting. And discounting in interest, like in compounding, you move from start to the finish, but in discounting you move from finish to the start, right? That's the difference between discounting and compounding, right? If you can remember your CT1 or CM1 concept. So here what is happening when you are here, the discount rate is 5%, right? At that point of time discount rate has not changed, so it would be 5%. But in this case the discount rate is 7%, because 30th Jan the discount rate has changed, so the discount rate would be 7%. Now when we do that, right, when we do that, we are still getting an unwind of 476. But what is this? The check indicates that you are supposed to get 561, right? How we have calculated the check? So let's take a look at this. So we have taken 9524, right? That was our kind of expected number at the start, 9524, right? Because at the start we would know that the interest rate would be 5%, right? We did not know the interest rate would be maybe the interest rate would be 7% after 30 June. At the start, we are not aware of that, right? So we start with this figure 9524, and we continued that figure for 6 months, right? And for 6 months, it is getting 5%. And for after that, we are getting to this number, which is 9667, right? On 1st of July. That obviously means that for the like till 30th June, you have captured 5% as interest rate, and then you have moved into July with 7% interest rate, and that's why I've taken this number 9667, and that you are getting 7%, right? And you are getting 561. If you follow the interest method once again, right? So then in the first month you are going to get 5%, but from here this would change, right? How this would change is in this case, right? In this case, you would be using and it would be this is the amount that you are getting, right? And your starting figure is 9524, but with that you would be multiplying the 7% number, right? From this month, right? So that's the change, because for the entire month of July, right? For the entire month of July, you have got 7%, because the interest rate change has happened from 30th of June, right? So for the entire month of July and onward, you have got more. That's why I've indicated this by a color change. So by that logic, we are getting 572, right? And we here also in the check, which is 561. So that means that 561, 572, that is the correct number. Why we are getting 476? And intuitively also, if we want to think is your interest rate has increased, right? That means you should get more because of the unwind concept or because of this saving account concept, right? Your unwind would be more. It cannot be 476, right? You has to get more unwind. Otherwise, what is the point, right? Your interest has increased. It means the big bang is increasing at a more powerful rate, right? From 5%, it has become 7%. So this unwind should be more. Intuitively also it suggests that, right? But that is not happening. What is the problem, right? In order to understand that, you have to attend the webinar, but I'll show you how you can get to that number, right? So, or maybe I'll also tell you the reason, right? So in order to get to that number, what you have to think is what is the interest rate that is applicable for the entire year, and not the interest rate that is applicable for 6 months and the interest rate that is applicable for 6 months, because that logic would apply for the interest portion. Like if you think from interest point of view, that logic will apply. Like this is how we have done it here, right? But that logic would not apply if you are considering the discounting, because in discounting you are starting at the end and then you are coming back. So at the end you cannot say that you have got 6%, right? Because you have got a combination of 6% and 5%. It is not 6% only, right? So that's why if you have to kind of change it, right? If you have to kind of make it proper, then what you have to do is what I have kind of already done is here you have to do an average, right? Approximately, right? There are other ways to do this as well, but what I do is I'll do an average, right? And I'll just drag this formula. So this would mean that for the entire, when you can see from the, like from the end, when we see that it is a combination of 5% and 6%, and is actually average of 5% and 6%, because it happened exactly at the 6 month time period, right? So instead of D10, this would be replaced by this number, right? Which is the average number. So I'm putting this, right? Now, if I drag this to this level, see this, it changes, right? So I explained you the concept of unwind through an endowment and term, time value of money, the big bang, right? Then I explained to you how you can calculate the unwind at 5%, and also ways you can check, because as an actuary, you have to check whether what you are calculating is making sense or not, right? It has to, like some other way, if you can capture an approximate number, that would be close to what your actual numbers, indicating that yeah, you are getting the correct number, right? And then I have also showed you what happens if you change the number, right? 7%. So that's how you exactly calculate the number. I hope the concept of unwind is clear. Now, is this the way we calculate reserve? No. Actually, there is much better way which will give you, because you have seen, like in the course of this presentation, it was slightly complex, right? The presentation was, and understanding this, probably you need to rewatch the video once again to kind of understand what is going on, but you can understand that, right? So you have to, for understanding those finer nuances, those would not be given in any book, right? And explaining this through Excel is not something that normally a person would do, because as an actuary, you are too much focused on clearing paper, right? Which is the exact opposite of what you should do. When you should be focused on understanding concept, because then paper clearing will be very easy. Look at the technical ability you will have, that you can explain this like in any time in life. If you heard about the word unwind, if you have understood this video, that concept of unwind will never create any trouble for you, right? So if you can explain, or if you can calculate it in Excel, then you can see that thing happening over your eyes. Like you can uh, intuitively match the theoretical concept with the practical concepts, and that's exactly what we are going to do in the webinar, right? And it's completely free for you to join. You can once again go to the description and check the link and hit the link. There are only 4 or 5 questions, as I mentioned. Yeah, it's very simple to kind of register, and so that we can discuss this sort of concept, because we want to kind of develop that actual intuition, so that you become a proper actuary and not a paper actuary. So that this sort of thing is very very easy for you, right? You can develop that thought process. Like one cannot teach you everything in a single, like maybe 90 minutes, but if you have that mindset, you yourself will develop the technology, because nobody taught me this. It's just my mindset that I got to understand this, right? So if you are interested in understanding this sort of thing, if you are kind of if you believe that, yeah, I heard of Unwind, but now I understand Unwind, right? So there's the big bang is the time value, right? You put money somewhere and you are getting interest because of time, right? And what happens when the interest changes? Why the other formula was not you kind of working? What is the interest viewpoint? What is the discount viewpoint? Why is this different, right? If you have understood all of this, please hit the like button. Please register for the webinar, right? And we can have a lot of very interesting and beautiful concept being discussed there. Looking forward to your question, looking forward to learn from you. If you are not a subscriber of my channel, these are the types of concept that we discuss, and every Friday there would be a video irrespective of my health. And thanks for watching this video, and see you in future videos.